so I asked you guys on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, yes, I covered all the bases, on whether or not you wanted to see more videos of story time videos of me living with a physical disability. And boy, do I have a great story today. I was watching some of our old Disney vlogs yesterday with my sister, and I just got in the mindset of like planes and air travel and all that fun stuff. And it brought me back to the memory of when it cost, or actually no, let me word that better, when my wheelchair cost $10,000 because they broke my chair. And it was unusable for more than half of our vacation. So, how did they rack up $10,000 worth of damage on my wheelchair? Well, that's the story that I'm going to tell because it's a fun time, not for me. So, if you've been on my channel for a long time, you know that me and my family normally go to Disney World every single year because Disney World's a fantastic place. Anyway, the US dollar, the Canadian to US dollar rate was really bad in 2015, so we didn't go. Instead, we went to the West Edmonton Mall. So we were flying on Westjet, and up to this point, like, Westjet had broken, like, small things, like my brake wouldn't go all the way on, or, oh, they broke my anti-tipper off, so my dad had to fix it. But up to this point, like, everything that broke, my dad could fix, because it was just like little things, and my dad's really handy like that, so he could fix stuff like that. But this vacation, we took off from St. Johns and we went to Toronto. When we landed in the Toronto Pearson Airport, that's when the story takes off. If you're in a wheelchair or have any physical disability of any kind, or if you're traveling and you require assistance, in the words of an airplane stewardess or pilot or anything, then you have to wait until everyone else gets off the plane, and then you can get the necessary means of transportation that you require to get off the airplane. So that's what I've had to face all through my life. It's fine, really. Like, they just bring my chair up to the gate, my dad helps me off, and then we're all good to go, right? So this time, we were at the Toronto airport, and we were flying to Edmonton. So we had a stopover in Toronto. Everyone had gotten off the plane. I thought everything was normal. It wasn't. And they were taking a long time to get my chair, like, bring my chair to the gate. And normally they'll bring it, like, to the gate, and then the stewardess or the flight attendant or, like, the pilot or someone or gate control or whatever, someone will come and be like, oh, your chair's there. So then my dad will bring out the bags and the carry-on luggage and the stuff and all that, and then he'll come back and get me and put me in my chair, and we'll be on our way to usually the most happiest place on earth, but no, not this time. So they were taking a long time, so my dad went out and was like, where's the chair? We need it 5 minutes ago. So I was still sitting on the plane with my mom and my sister at the time, who was, I think, 4, almost turning 5 or 5, I'm not sure. And so my dad went out and they were like, we have a problem. And the guy that, like, takes care of getting the luggage off the plane and everything came with my wheel in one hand and a little piece of metal in the other hand. And normally when they bring the chair up to the gate, your chair is completely, like, assembled and it's just ready for you to get in and everything. This time it wasn't. So, for those of you that don't know how wheelchairs work, usually on a manual wheelchair, you have your wheels, they can come off, and you can take your wheels off for, like, traveling and stuff, and there's a little piece of metal that stays on your chair even when your wheel's taken off. It's glued onto the I guess, frame of the chair, and it stays on there, and then you can just pop the wheels back in, and then they spin, and then everything is sunshine and rainbows. So, this time, my wheel was completely off my chair. The other one was still on. I think they broke the left wheel, I think, and the right one was on. So my dad was like, why isn't the wheel on? He didn't notice at the time that the piece of metal that was needed to attach the chair to the wheel was not on the frame of the chair. So then they were like, and then they held up the two things to my dad. This is what my dad said. I obviously wasn't there. I was still on the airplane. I had no idea what was going on. And then my dad was like, oh. So Dad tried like seeing if there was any way it could attach or anything. It couldn't. The piece of metal that stayed on the frame of my chair was broken off completely. My wheel could not attach, and the wheel itself was also broken because my wheels that I take on vacation have a lithium-ion battery in them, so there's like sensors and everything because they're power wheels. By the way, it's completely safe to take on the plane. Like, we're not, yeah, it's safe, don't worry. So that was a great time. And Dad was like, well, how did it break? And they were like, we have no idea. Like, the people that took the wheels off, in like the people that loaded the luggage on here, we think must have broken it because it was already broken by the time they were taking my chair off when we got to Toronto. So obviously the people here like just threw my chair in the compartment and like had no regard for the fact that I need this chair. This is something that I need. It's on an hourly by hourly basis, on a minute by minute basis. So they just threw it in there like it was nothing. And my dad said that the amount of force that they would have to put on the chair for that piece of metal to break off, because it is like solid into the frame of the wheel, right? He was like, you have to have the pressure of like forklift on it. I was like, how is that possible? Like, what? How? Like, a forklift. So I was like, okay. So the pilot of our plane now came out and he looked at me, who was in my dad's, like, my dad was holding me because obviously I can't stand up because of disability problems. So I couldn't stand up, so my dad got me off the plane because I was getting, like, my mom and me and my sister were still on a plane during all this annoyance. So Dad came back and got me, and then I was like, what? I need this chair. Meanwhile, I was like 16, so like I had common sense. I was able to speak for myself and everything. Meanwhile, I didn't say anything because like I was just letting my dad handle it because this is like, I didn't know what to do. So they gave me like one of those wheelchairs that like they have your typical wheelchair, like just a really big, like disgusting, like overused, like dirty, like typical like airport wheelchair that they put someone in if they just had a little bit of trouble walking. So meanwhile, little tiny Hannah was in this gigantic chair. I lost all means of independence. I couldn't push myself because the wheels were all the way back and I was like stretching my arms and I couldn't push at all. And so they brought that chair and my dad put me in it and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I want to leave. No, let's not do this. So the pilot came out and he was like, oh, well, here's my card. So the pilot of our plane gave my mom his card. I was like, okay. So they took us to like the customer service area that like deals with like things that, I don't know, go wrong or something. And they were like, well, we can't do anything about it right now because it was Thanksgiving weekend at the time that we were flying. So everything was closed, which of course it had to be that weekend, but that's fine. So we got to our hotel and everything like that, and I was still in this gigantic wheelchair and still trying to figure out how baggage handlers can just throw a wheelchair in cargo like it's nothing. Because, like, just think about it for a minute. If there's a wheelchair going on a plane, there's obviously a person on the plane who lives in a wheelchair, which means they're gonna need it. So we went to our hotel. Meanwhile, my mom was in constant communication with like the people that like deal with these sort of things, and they said they were gonna deal with everything. They did. At the end of it, they did, and they replaced everything that was broken. It cost them $10,000. Like But they did, so that was a great time. And now every time we go on Westjet, I get bumped up to first class because they read the file on how they ruined our vacation. And yeah. But that's how Westjet cost, or how Westjet broke my $10,000 wheelchair. Can I just say, if you're someone that works with an airline and you are a baggage handler and you put the luggage in the plane, treat wheelchairs with more respect than you will treat luggage, because wheelchairs are not luggage. They're a form of transportation for someone on that plane. People who have wheelchairs need the wheelchair to live independently, okay? So treat it with more respect than you would treat like luggage, because it's not just clothes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, it's a wheelchair, okay? Not only did it cost us a lot of money, but it also cost Westjet a lot of money. It was just a lovely time. And on that vacation, I lost all independent living. I had to get my dad to help me on and off the toilet. I had to help my dad push me around the Edmonton Mall, which I hated. Now, I love my dad. He's the best person ever. And I don't mind him helping me, and he doesn't mind helping me. But it just, I don't like to be independent. I don't like to be dependent. I like to do things independently. So to lose that for 7 days on a vacation, I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. And it was a great time. Now, like I said, they fixed everything at the end. They replaced everything that was broken. They flew out parts for my dad to fix it, because yes, my dad is that handy that he can just do stuff like that. I got my chair back for the last 4 days of our vacation, I think, but was 7 days without it, so it was a great time. But yeah, so that's one of these stories that I have, and it cost Westjet 10 grand for their mistake. So if you guys want more videos like this, make sure to let me know. Also, the post notification shout out of the day goes to someone right here. So if you want a post notification shout out, I forgot to make this clear in my last video, but you have to comment down below Notification Squad or you will not get a shout out. You can comment other things besides Notification Squad, but if you want a shout out, you have to comment, maybe I'll write it on the screen here, Notification Squad, or else you will not get a post notification shout out. Obviously, you have to turn on my post notifications and stay active on my channel by being one of the first 25 or 30 people to comment, and your chances of getting a shout out will be higher. But make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and drop a comment if you want. Also, if you've had similar experiences with airlines or traveling or anything like that, leave me a note down in the comment section down below. That'd be fun to read. I'd love to hear your guys' experiences, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.